Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the channel. This Saturday is UFC Vegas 38. The main event is Thiago Santos versus Johnny Walker, and this is going to be my full breakdown and prediction of that fight. Do me a favor, guys, if you enjoy these prediction videos, don't forget to like the video. It really helps support the channel, and I really appreciate it. So you look at this fight, and this fight, while it's kind of a strange matchup in a way, just because you look at where Johnny Walker is, you look at where Thiago Santos is, I don't know if Johnny Walker really deserves this step up in competition, but I kind of get it because Thiago Santos is on a losing streak. But you look at this fight, and this is an absolute must win for Thiago Santos. You look at his resume, and he is on a three-fight losing streak. And I know that sounds terrible, but look at the guys that he's lost to. So he lost to John Jones back at UFC 239, and this was a very close fight, and he lost by split decision. And a lot of people scored the fight for Thiago Santos. And Thiago Santos, even though he blew out both knees in this fight, looked incredible against one of the greatest light heavyweights of all time in John Jones. And to even come close to winning that fight with two blown out knees is just incredible. Then he fights Glover Teixeira. He almost finishes Glover Teixeira multiple times. It was almost like a Marlon Moraes versus Merab Dvalishvili at UFC 266 because Santos almost finished him early, gassed himself out looking for the finish, and then Glover Teixeira comes on strong later in the fight, takes him down, ground and pounds him, eventually submits him. And look where Glover Teixeira is now. He's fighting for a belt against Jan Blachowicz. Then his last fight was at UFC 259, March of this year, and it was against Alexander Rakic. Alexander Rakic is so well-rounded, a great kickboxer, a great grappler, and this fight really didn't deliver. I was super excited for this matchup when it was originally announced, but I mean, it was kind of boring. It was a kind of a chess match back and forth. Not neither guy really throwing much for fear of getting KO'd. But you look at those losses, and I know he's on a three-fight losing streak, but look at the quality of guys he's fighting. John Jones, arguably one of the greatest of all time in the UFC. Glover Teixeira currently challenging for the light heavyweight belt. Alexander Rakic, he's right up there in contention for the light heavyweight belt. He's probably one fight away from fighting for the title. So that's not a bad three-fight losing streak to have. And then you look at his most recent win, which really wasn't that long ago. It was in February of 2019 against the current light heavyweight champion, Jan Blachowicz. And, Thiago Santos used to fight at middleweight. He had some good success moving up to light heavyweight. And these last three fights have just been against top competition. And then you look at Johnny Walker, and Thiago Santos is currently ranked number 5 in the light heavyweight division. Johnny Walker is currently ranked number 10. I'm not sure if Johnny Walker has even earned this fight. Johnny Walker is a guy who came into the UFC off the Contender Series. He had some flashy KOs. He had a flying knee against Misha Cirkunov. He had a crazy spinning back fist KO against Justin Ledet, who I don't even believe is no longer in the UFC. And he had a beautiful KO of Khalil Roundtree, which he garnered him so much hype. People were talking about Johnny Walker's the guy to beat John Jones. And I think it more or less had to do with the flashy finishes, the fact that he was young, he was fast, and also his size. Johnny Walker is massive. And, people just saw John Jones, who was this massive light heavyweight champion. They saw Johnny Walker, who was huge, tall, lanky, and they thought, okay, this guy can beat John Jones. But he hadn't really fought anyone. And he really still hasn't fought much of anyone. He has, one decent fighter on his resume, and he lost to that guy. So going into his next fight after Misha Cirkunov, he fought Corey Anderson. And Corey Anderson was ranked in the top 10. And a lot of people thought, okay, if Johnny Walker can beat Corey Anderson, maybe we'll give him a title shot just because the hype was unreal at this point in time. And what happens? He goes in against Corey Anderson at UFC 244, and Corey Anderson just sleeps him in the first round. I think technically it was a TKO, but you get the point. Just hurt him badly on the feet and finishes him. And getting finished by Corey Anderson is not something that really happens often. Corey Anderson's not known for his power. Corey Anderson's a well-rounded fighter. He's a decent fighter, but you don't really look at him as one of the top elite light heavyweights. And Corey Anderson finished him. Then after that fight, I feel like the UFC tried to give him a rebound fight against Nikita Krylov, and he got exposed even worse. Wrestling looked terrible. Cardio looked terrible. He loses a decision to Nikita Krylov. And that was back in March of just last year, 2020. And then after that fight, he has one fight since, and he fought Ryan Spann. And this fight was back and forth. It ended in the first round. Both guys were hurt badly multiple times, and Johnny Walker comes out with the win in this fight. He gets the KO, but he could have easily been finished himself. I mean, his chin was tested so many times against Ryan Spann. And not that I'm trying to trash Ryan Spann, he's a very talented guy, but he's nowhere near the level of Thiago Santos. And you look over Johnny Walker's resume, which I just went through most of the opponents, it's really full of nobodies. Honestly, he has impressive wins, but who's his best win? Maybe Khalil Roundtree. So, comparing that to Thiago Santos, I mean, listen to some of these names Thiago Santos has fought: Anthony Smith, Jack Hermanson, David Branch, Kevin Holland, Jimmy Manawa, Jan Blachowicz, John Jones, Glover Teixeira, Alexander Rakic. Look at all those names. I mean, so many quality guys. I think Jimmy Manawa, who wasn't, nowhere near the elite of the elite, is probably better than any guy on Johnny Walker's current resume. Which, I know some of you may argue with me on that, but it's the truth. And, I don't think resumes are everything. You can look at certain guys and say, okay, this guy is super talented. He can still win against an elite opponent without having the guys on his resume. I mean, look at Marab. I'll use him as an example. He didn't really have anybody on his resume, but he went out there and beat Marlon Moraes, one of the elite bantamweights, and beat him pretty decisively. And I know he got hurt badly, but he was able to weather that storm and win a fight. So Johnny Walker could win this fight. Johnny Walker has some flashy striking. He's very fast. He's very tall. Let me pull up his height real quick. Johnny Walker is 6'6". He has an 82-inch reach. Thiago Santos is 6'2", has a 76-inch reach. So that's a 6-inch reach for Johnny Walker. And I really think Johnny Walker's strategy in this fight should be kind of pick him apart from the outside, look for some of his flashy techniques and try to KO him as the fight goes on. Just try to get his timing early on. Thiago Santos, we know how he fights. He's kind of a technical brawler. Like, he'll be patient like he was in the John Jones fight, but sometimes he will just explode and look for KOs, and he'll get wild in there as well. And Johnny Walker showed in that Ryan Spann fight, he will get wild too. And so this could be an absolute crazy fight. But for me, my prediction, I have to go with Thiago Santos. He's just fought top level competition throughout his entire career, and he's in a must win situation. 3-fight losing streak. I know he blew out both knees against John Jones, and maybe that affected him. But at this point, years later, it is what it is. He still looked decent even in his losses. Has a win over the light heavyweight champion, Jan Blachowicz, not that long ago. I really think Thiago Santos can make a rise back to the top of the division. If not, Johnny Walker is going to build his name off of him. Johnny Walker, he is very fast. He does have the size advantage, and that's what kind of worries me. That height and reach advantage is going to be hard for Thiago Santos. But I really think Thiago Santos is going to come out kind of patient. I think he's going to be chopping Johnny Walker's leg early and often. And I also think, we've seen Thiago Santos go 5 rounds against John Jones, and we've seen what his cardio looks like in 3-round fights. And I just think he has the better cardio. I think he has the more technical striking. I think he has the better kicks, and I think he will use his kicks. I think he will chop Johnny Walker down in the later rounds. And I'm going to say this is a 5-round fight. I'm going to say he TKOs Johnny Walker in the 3rd round as Johnny Walker starts to slow down, as the kicks start to debilitate his movement, because Johnny Walker does have some good footwork, and he has some good movement as far as getting in and out. I love that stance he has. That's what also I think contribute to a lot of his hype. When you see a guy come in and he looks real good with his movement and he has a real nice stance, a lot of people tend to think, oh, this guy is legit. And I think he'll be able to compete against Thiago Santos. I think early, Thiago's shown he's a little bit gun shy, like against Alexander Rakic. And he knows that Johnny Walker has KO power and he has flashy flying knees. He'll try crazy spinning back fist. He has a decent clinch. I mean, the clinch that he used against Khalil Roundtree and some of those elbows were absolutely brutal. So Thiago Santos has to be careful in this fight, and I think he's going to be very limited with his striking early. He's going to chop the leg. He's going to look for some power punches, but he's not going to be overly aggressive. Where Johnny Walker, I think he's going to try to get the job done early. 1st or 2nd round, I think Johnny Walker is going to be throwing, spinning techniques. I think he's going to be throwing flying knees. He's going to be looking for openings, looking to use that size and height advantage and speed advantage. I think he's probably the faster fighter. And Thiago Santos is going to be playing the long game. He knows he has the cardio issue, or at least he knows Johnny Walker has a cardio issue. He knows he doesn't have a cardio issue. And I think he knows Johnny Walker will start to slow down, the mobility will start to be limited, and he'll be able to get off some more of his power shots. And once Johnny Walker gets tired, I don't know if that power is going to stay with him. So Thiago Santos can start getting more aggressive. So I really believe Thiago Santos, the key to victory is the leg kicks. I think he's going to beat up Johnny Walker on the feet and eventually finish him in the third round, break his 3-fight losing streak with a win over Johnny Walker. And I don't know if that's going to be a big win for him. Johnny Walker is unproven. Johnny Walker is currently ranked number 10. So I don't know how much it does for him, but it doesn't matter at this point. He needs a win. He's on a 3-fight losing streak. And I would like to see him in some big fights in the future. I know that sounds crazy, but a win over Johnny Walker will open a lot of doors. He can fight. The division's kind of logjam right now. So who knows who he could fight? He could fight an Anthony Smith again at light heavyweight. I think they fought at middleweight previously. He could fight, Alexander Rakic again potentially. There's plenty of options out there for Thiago Santos if he's able to win this fight against Johnny Walker. But if Johnny Walker wins, even though obviously I'm sticking with my prediction of Thiago Santos by third round TKO, if Johnny Walker wins, I think he gets a KO TKO in the first round. I think that's when he's most dangerous. I think that's when he has his best chance. But once he starts to fade, Thiago Santos is going to put a beating on him. And let me know what you guys think in the comments. Who are you predicting to win this fight? I'm genuinely curious. Don't forget to like the video. And also let me know in the comments, should I do a live stream watch along of this fight card? Let me know if you guys want me to do it. Whatever you guys want, I will do. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.